Hello, welcome to the brand new session of EC Council's Certified Secure Computer User. In this session, we will discuss about the information or you can say the data security. So, the data security is the process of safeguarding digital information throughout its entire life cycle to protect it from the corruption, theft, or unauthorized access. It will covers everything like hardware, software, storage devices, and user devices access and administrative controls and organization policies and procedures. So the data security uses tools and technologies that enhance visibility of companies' data and how it is being used. So these tools can protect data through processes like data masking, encryption, and redaction of sensitive information. So, the process also helps organizations streamline their auditing procedure and comply with increasingly stringent data protection regulations. So, what is data? So, the data is a collection of facts and figures. If I give you an example of facts, that mean if you are filling any kind of forms like name, mobile number, email address, permanent address, something like those are facts. And if you are submitting any inputs or details, those are figures. So the collection of facts and figures known as data. So the next is what is information? So as we discussed earlier, what is exactly the data? That means collection of facts and figures known as data. But when you collect these kind of data, that is known as information. Like there are four students. The first username is A, the second one B, C, and D. Their mobile number is 123, then second 456, third 567, and the last one is 8910. So basically, these are facts and figures. And when you will collect those facts and figures, that is known as data. And when you will collect multiple data, that is known as information. To understand properly, you can have a look into data and information. This is a best example between data and information. So how data will generate? So there are two types. First is explicit data and the second one is implicit data. So if I talk about explicit, I have given you the one-liner answer that is created intentionally. Like if you are creating any new folder, if you are creating any file, if you are creating anything, so that is intentionally you are creating. So that is known as explicit. But in laptops, in computers, in systems, there is a way where the data will create automatically, like temporary files, cookies, history, log files, etc. So that is known as implicit data. So why importance of data security? So there is identity theft, banking information, potential job loss, then threat to reputation, credit card scam, then medical fraud, and many more, like legal actions or something like that. So there are many reasons why data security is important to organization in all industries all over the world. So organizations are legally obliged to protect customers and user data from being lost or stolen and ending up in the wrong hands. For example, industry and state regulations like the California Consumer Privacy Act, the European Union General Data Protection Regulation, that means GDPR or maybe CCPA, maybe the Health Insurance Probability and Accountability Act, maybe HIPAA, and Payment Card Industry Data Security Standards like PCI DSS. This is all about the outline organization's legal obligations to protect the data. So, data cybersecurity is also crucial to preventing the reputational risk that accompanies a data breach. So, maybe the high profile hack or loss of data can result in customers losing trust in organization and taking their business to a competitor. This also runs the risk of serious financial losses along with fines, legal payments, and damage repair in case of sensitivity data is lost. So, how the data security will treat? So there are many kind of way where the data may be threat or maybe the lost, corrupted, damaged, hacked, or deleted, destroyed. There are a lot of way. So you need to keep your information safe. You need to help keeps your reputation clean, give you a competitive edge, and it will save on support and development cost. So what is the security elements for the data security? The first is confidentiality, integrity, authenticity, availability, run repudiation. So if we discuss confidentiality, so the confidentiality in this context means that the data is only available to authorized parties. When information has been kept confidential, it means that has not been compromised by other parties. So the confidential data are not disclosed to people who do not require them or who should not have access them. Ensuring confidentiality means that information is organized in terms of who need to have access as well as the sensitive of the data. A breach of confidentiality may take place through different means, for instance, hacking or maybe the social engineering. So please keep your data safe. The second component, or you can say the second element, is integrity. So the data integrity refers to the certainty that the data is not tampered with or degraded during or after submission. It is the certainty that the data has not been subject to an unauthorized modification, either intentional or unintentional. There are 2 points during the transmission process during which the integrity could be compromised: during the upload or transmission of the data, or during the storage of documentation in the database or collection. So, third is authenticity. So, that means the verification of data or maybe information or user, like two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication. The next is availability. This means that the information is available to authorized users when it is needed. For a system to demonstrate availability, it must have properly functioning computing systems, securing controls, and the communication channels. So the systems defined as critical power generation, maybe medical equipments, maybe safety systems, often have extreme requirement related to the availability. So these systems must be resilient against the cyber threat and have safeguard against power outage, hardware failures, and other events that might impact the system availability. Non-repudiation. In this term, the verification will be done between the sender and receiver, like end-to-end encryption in WhatsApp. So the next point is data security implementation, whereas precaution, maintenance, and reactions, there are 3 points in the implementation of data security. So how we can implement the data security in our systems? So we need to have a look into these 3 points. First, we need to keep precautions. We need to maintain our systems, maybe the network, maybe the software, maybe the hardware. And if we got the hack or if we got the attack, so what will be our reaction? So there are some way that you can follow. So first, you can back up your data. You can use a strong password or multi-factor authentication. You can be aware of your surroundings, be wary of suspicious emails. You can install antivirus and malware protection. You can protect your device when it's unattended. You can make your Wi-Fi connection is secure. You can limit the access to those who need it. Then you can take care when sharing your screen. You can keep the data for longer than you need. If you are keeping this, please, I will recommend don't keep the data for longer than you need it. You can dispose of old IT equipments and records securely. So there are a lot of ways which we will discuss in upcoming section. So don't get hooked. Think before you click. Stay protected while you are connected with network.